Project 613, day 132. Continuing with the mitzvah of separating Meiser, the tithe that is given to the Levites. Truth is, you're not giving this 10% to the Levites. You're giving this 10% to God. God is our partner in everything that we do. And in every partnership, some goes to one partner and the rest goes to another partner. But God is very good to us. And God says, you keep most of it. I want a certain amount. How do we give God's portion to God? Well, God says, I want you to give it to the Kohen, to the Levi, to the poor, as we are learning. So when we are giving Meiser, we're giving the tithe to the Levite, we're actually giving it to God, and the Levite is taking it from God's table. The Talmud tells us that the punishment associated with the lack of giving Meiser, when people abstain from giving that 10% to the Levite, is famine, that they won't have any food. What's the reason for this? Very simple. God designated a tribe, the Levites, that they should be dependent on the people for their sustenance because their job is to be dedicated to the temple service and to teaching Torah. Now, if Jews do not give the 10% to the Levites starve. So God it's always a tit for tat. If you behave this way to God, you cause that God's ambassadors, God's servants should starve, God will cause you to starve. The Medrash tells us a very fascinating story. There was a great Talmudic scholar, his name was Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair. He was a great miracle worker, a very spiritual person. And one time he came to a city, a town, that was suffering from a terrible problem. The mice were destroying all their crops. It was a serious issue. And they asked the holy man, Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair, what's going on? What should we do about this? Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair called all the mice to him. And all of a sudden, you had thousands of mice crowding around Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair, and they were squealing, as mice do. And Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair listened, and he turns to the people and he says, do you know what the mice are saying? They are saying that God commanded them to come and destroy all the crops of this town because the townspeople have not given Meiser. They are not giving the proper tithes on time and to the right people in the proper manner. And therefore God commanded us to come and destroy their crops. When the people heard this, they said, we regret our previous behavior. We make the commitment that from now on we are going to be meticulous with separating the tithe, the 10%, for the Levites, and we're going to give it as we should. And as soon as they made that commitment, the thousands of mice disappeared. Thank you all for watching. More tomorrow.